Hello, team, and welcome to episode 36 of Creative English 2025, A Blast from the Past. Team, congratulations to the Supergirls and Gislei. They were our grand champions. The Cheesy Crabs, our team from Aracaju and Viçosa, came in second, and the Friday Vibe with their second podium. Last year they came in first, this year third, but still these three teams represented the Gringo Minute very well in our yearly Olympics. Congratulations. But life is not all fun and games. And now it is time to return to our normal programming. And what is our normal programming? We will start seeing some classes that I have not been able to fit into our schedule this year, calling it a blast from the past. These are classes that were successful in other years. I will be also taking requests. I have a lot of different requests from my students that I have been writing down on very organized Post-its, but we will be seeing a lot of cool things. And I wanted to kind of rebound from our games with a more technical grammar class. Not any grammar class. This is a unique Gringo Minute only class. We'll be talking about the four tenses, because there is a lot in the English language that has many exceptions. Today's class will have 0 exceptions. We will be talking about how there are 3 times, 4 tenses, and you can apply these 4 tenses to any of the times. So if you understand how they work, you really should be able to communicate anything that you have to. And to start, how many tenses can you think of? Take a simple sentence, like I eat blueberry pancakes, and see how many versions of this you can create. Today we will see 12. How many can you find? And with that said, here is our grammar point, the 4 tenses. Everything I will say today will be about the tenses, so you can apply this to the present, the past, or the future. All right? Starting with the simple, the rice. It's there at every Brazilian lunch. And the simple form is about facts, whether it's the present. I am an English teacher. I live in Belo Horizonte. I have a beard. In the past, I played soccer. I ate 5 eggs for breakfast. About the future, Cruzeiro will play with Atlético. I will eat a sandwich later. So whether it's the present, the past, or the future, when you use the simple form, you are giving a fact. I teach English. Okay. I played soccer. Understood. The person just receives this information. That is what the simple form is for. Part 2, our beans. The continuous. Continuous form is the ing form or the progressive form, depending where you studied English. But this is about action. And not only action, but it is about action at a specific moment. What do I mean by specific moment? If I were just to say to you guys, I was driving. Without any context, you might think I was drunk. And I need to put it at a time. I was driving yesterday. Okay, I was driving this weekend. I was driving when I saw a cow. So I can even cross this action with another situation. But when we use this ing form, we are transmitting an action, almost like a GIF. If I say I played soccer, you say, cool. If I say I was playing soccer, it's almost like we're transported back into the moment of the game. Woo, you see me trying to score a goal. So with the ing form, it's like an action in progress, in motion. And it can say, I was playing soccer. I am speaking right now. I will be eating a sandwich later. Imagine me eating a sandwich. So whether it's the present, the past, or the future, the ing form is about transmitting an action in progress. Now, let's start complicating things. Let's get to the perfect form. And there is nothing perfect about this. But whether we are talking about the present perfect, the past perfect, and yes, many of you will not know about this, but the future perfect, it also exists. It is not just an amazing PlayStation game. We are talking about before. If I say I went to Europe yesterday and I went to Europe 30 years ago, it does not make a difference to grammar. What does make a difference if I say I went to Europe last week. I had wanted to go there for a long time. Our past, I went to Europe. And before that, I had wanted to go to Europe. If I say I have always wanted to go to Tibet, I'm talking about the present perfect. Before now, I have always wanted to go to bed. And we even have the future perfect, which is often ignored, not just by English learners, but by natives as well. And this we use when we set a deadline. Let me see. So in next year, I will have known Patricia for 8 years. So now I've known her for 7 years and something. But next year, I will have known her for 8 years. So before that moment, it will have been 8 years that we are together. But what I want you to remember is when you see that have, you want to think before. And number 4, kind of a combo, a Dragon Ball Z fusion of both the perfect form and the continuous form, the perfect continuous. And the perfect continuous can often go in one direction or the other. If I say I am watching Star Wars and I say I have been watching Star Wars, they're both fine. You just need to make sure that you align your time expressions. I am watching Star Wars now. I'm currently watching Star Wars. I have been watching Star Wars these last few weeks. I have been watching Star Wars since last week. I have been watching Star Wars recently. So they need to align. What's the difference? If I say I am watching Star Wars, our focus is now. I have been watching Star Wars, our focus is before now. Where is the perfect continuous different than the perfect? Simple. If I say I have lived in Brazil for 20 years, you don't know if I will continue living in Brazil. But if I say I have been living in Brazil for 20 years, I am saying I will continue living in Brazil. So there is continuity to it. So the little details, the present perfect continuous, can you use with action verbs? So I can say like, I have known Patricia for 8 years. I can't say I have been knowing because there's no action, but I can say I have taught and I have been teaching. I have both options. Also, when I use the simple form, I am not guaranteeing nor denying what I will do next. With the continuous form, I am guaranteeing continuity. All right. So we have those 4 forms. And if you think that I am crazy and there are many exceptions and what I have been saying is all hooey, let me prove you wrong. So I took one simple sentence, not even a sentence, an idea. Lise plays with Liam. And you can see that I can put this in all the forms without any difference. I offered you many sentences here. My recommendation is you use a real sentence that applies to your life. It will help you more. And good examples, live and work. So for example, I live in Belo Horizonte. I have lived in Lagoa Santa. I was living in New York back in the 1990s. So if you use real information, I think it does help sink in. Okay, but that's your challenge. Take one of these sentences or your own and try to make all of these. If you do this twice, you will never have a problem with this again. And to finish this off, expression of the week, TLDR, too long, didn't read. Give me the quick version. Simple facts, continuous action in progress, perfect completed action before, perfect continuous action in progress up to 8. Right. Any questions, send them my way. This is a Gringo Minute original, I think. I've not seen it anywhere else, but I might be wrong. But that's what I've got for you guys. And, future perfect continuous. I don't think I mentioned this one. People had questions about this because we don't see it much. But, here, I'll just use my example. So in June, I will have been teaching for 15 years. I will continue teaching afterwards. All right. A little game to play, our vocab. So we talked about lockdown this week. I think it's something universal. Everybody shared it. So it was good reference for our past perfects. I had been doing this before the pandemic. And pandemic, it's our first vocab word. A lot of students try to sneak a pandemia by me. Pandemia does not exist. To get a shot. This A is really important here. If you say to get shot, it means pew pew. But if you to get a shot, it is a vaccine. Last up, curfew, when you need to be home, whether it's because of your parents, whether it's the government, or if you live in Rio, I guess the gangsters. But this is our game. And I know it's 12. People say, there's 12. There's an extra. I know there's an extra one. I made it. But we can play tic-tac-tens with this little board. One tip, you cannot start in the middle or else it's an automatic win. But to play, you need to try to say a correct sentence. So if I were to say, I will have been teaching for 15 years, I would have gone right here with the future perfect continuous. I had watched Star Wars before. Past perfect. I teach English, present simple. So how do you put your X's and your O's? By saying a correct sentence. And our talking point is about lockdown. Team. Like many things on this planet, we should have one. And I think you should have a good lockdown story. Me, I'm of the positive vibe, so I like the good ones, but can be serious ones as well. So that's your final challenge. Give me a lockdown story. Anybody remember the masks? This first one right here, Lise was born right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I needed to get a birth certificate. And I sent this picture to Patricia saying I was worried that they were going to call the police on me because I did not have a mask yet. This would have been about like March 20th. And masks, there's Mr. Barano. Lise did not have to wear a mask. She was little, but this is when we went to a giant balloon or giant jumpy castle thing. So very cool. Team, that's what I've got for you. Like always, it's a pleasure. Thank you, and I hope to see you in class. Have a good one.